Hey guys, so today is one of those days where I'm just gonna dive right into it because if I don't do it now, I'm probably not gonna record it. So normally I'm like, hey, this coffee break chat is something that I'm so excited about and I can't wait to talk to you guys about this. And today actually is a little bit different. So where should I start? I think that like the beauty of just the digital space and social media, for all the qualms that I have with it or whatever, it really lies within the opportunity to connect with people and to hear people's stories and really as a source of inspiration. So with me personally, I know that there's somebody in particular, for instance, Marie Forleo. Like she is literally, it's like God, my mom, my best friend, and then Marie Forleo. And she might even be like somewhere in the mix of those. And I say that because whether it's like a talk that she's doing on her channel or a guest that she brings on, I just feel like she consistently provides content that makes the kind of like murky water of figuring this whole life thing, working for yourself thing, being a freelancer or just relationships or whatever it is, like, or just finding your own fulfillment more tangible. And I I recognize that as important as her voice is, like, just like if she didn't step up and have those conversations, maybe God has me here to do the same thing in the sense that, like, maybe my voice can be something that's encouraging for someone too. So I'm going to give a disclaimer. This is not like a I've got it all figured out video. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm just kind of walking through the motions of my thought process and what I'm thinking. And, really it's more of a like if you feel like you're going crazy sometimes or if you're just trying to like get an idea of what's happening, you're not the only person and you're not in this alone. So I'll just dive into it. So to kind of give you background in case you have no idea who I am or like what I do, my name is Chelsea Coffey and I have a blog called thecoffeebreak.com. And the coffee break was created to be an outlet for me in different areas, whether that was like fashion or natural hair care or even like life and relationship advice, kind of like what we're doing right now. And I really love the space that it's created for me to be able to express myself. And I'm throwing this out there. This video is either going to go up very quickly or it's like never going to go up. So we'll just see. Like if you're watching it, it means that I like got around to actually doing it and it wasn't just like a purge for me. But I started off with the coffee break, and then shortly after I started my nonprofit. It's called Mia's Closet, and I love Mia's Closet. It's my baby, like helping people feel good about themselves and really having like high confidence and self-esteem is very important to me, and I feel like that's the work that I've kind of been called to do. My biggest challenge for as long as I can remember now has been how do you monetize the things that you're passionate about in such a way that you're not always making a trade-off. So my past experience has always been I either have a job that I'm like putting up with or I'm not doing enough but I'm getting paid, or I'm doing something that I really love and enjoy but I'm not making enough money off of it. And I kind of had like a where do we go from here kind of moment today because what I realize is that I haven't had a corporate experience or like a regular 9 to 5 experience that gives me the same level of fulfillment that my nonprofit does, for instance. But I also don't have a structure put in place to where my nonprofit can compensate me in the way that like a full-time job like at a corporation does, right? So it's interesting because I'm on a job hunt in another city of all things, and it has really been kind of challenging because it's one thing to be hardwired to be like, oh, I'm just going to get a job and get the money and then I'm going to quit. Like that's one mentality that people have. I've I haven't necessarily done that before, but I understand like the mindset and the strategy behind it. I just also know that like there's so much time and effort that is put into onboarding somebody into a company that to go through all of that knowing that you just want to get a few paychecks and then split is like kind of a weird concept for me. I guess it's one that doesn't like sit well with me, and I'm kind of big on like protecting my name, so I don't know that I would want to like be like the girl who like came and like got settled and then bolted, you know? So having said that, this new job search has been like a really interesting experience. I'm using interesting like it's a cute term, but it's been stressful. And it's primarily because I am getting to a place where I understand myself well enough to know that there is like this combination of things that I need to feel fulfilled. And it's really a number of different things. So it's the whole piece about the work being something that I think is meaningful and that I can genuinely like latch onto and take pride in and ownership in. That's the first thing. The second thing is getting compensated. So I've been working probably for like 8 years now, and there are certain trade-offs. Like if I end up working, for instance, for another nonprofit, like I'm already taking into consideration, okay, well, I might have something that like gets me like jumping out of the bed every morning, but I may not have like the shopping trips that I want. You know what I mean? Or it might be a situation where maybe it's going to lean more on the business, like not feel good stuff, and I may get the money, but I may have to like deal with the reality that I may not always have the warm and fuzzy feeling inside. So these are just all questions that I've been asking myself, and the trickiest part is that what I've come to realize is that like a lot of things just come down to choice. Like I don't know, outside of prayer and just like asking God to reveal things and to make things abundantly clear, that there is that like beeline that you just kind of follow, and it's your own like little cool trail that really allows you to identify specifically the opportunity that's going to be best for you. And I was watching a video earlier, and this is kind of like one of the main things I wanted to share with you guys. And what I really love is that they conveyed in the video this overall concept of like it's okay, and this is something I've been saying for a really long time, but that it's okay to try something and it not work out. And I think that part of what kind of gets me in trouble is that I'm a planner. Like I literally went to school for it. Like I'm a futurist. Like I like long-term plans. Like this is going to get us to point A, and that's going to get us to point B, and then from there you can check it off. You can just go, 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 go. And that space of like, well, what's going to happen? Like, is it guaranteed? All that type of stuff, like, is a control thing, you know? And I think that, like, my takeaway from the video that I really appreciated was just the idea that it's okay to try something. Like, it's okay just to be willing to go for it and to see if it works and to give it your all. And if at some point you assess and you realize that it didn't work out, it doesn't make you a failure, and it doesn't mean that like you're never going to have success. It just means this wasn't something that worked out for you. And I think that when a person is willing to be vulnerable enough to accept that and move forward in that place, it's like a mental thing, I think, more than anything. I do think that you create a space to allow yourself to take chances. But what I think is most important is just like understanding what chances you want to take. And I think that that's kind of the part that gets tricky, because we all have like a limited amount of time in the world, clearly. And we don't want to maybe feel like we have regrets, or that we like could have made a better choice, or the what ifs, right? Like there's like a million what ifs if you wanted to really play that game. But what I think is really important is to make a list, you know? Like my mom is really big on making lists, whether it's like thinking about a guy, or a life decision that you want to make, or like a career choice that you want to make. Like I think the list applies to all situations. And I think in the case of, you know, me personally, like that's kind of where I am career wise. I think it's like a trying to understand, you know, what that list looks like. What are my non-negotiables? Like, are they realistic? And, you know, most importantly, just understanding that like it's okay to make a change at some point. Like it doesn't mean that you're flaky, or that you're you know, that you're like a head case if you realize, oh, this is what I thought I wanted, but it's actually not what I wanted, and now I realize what I want is this. So I just wanted to say that, and I hope it really, you know, from the bottom of my heart is like encouraging for anyone who just kind of feels like, you know, I'm good at so many things, or I'm talented in so many areas. What is going to be the thing that's going to be my nugget? You know, like what's going to be the thing that like takes me to that next level? That's the perfect synchronization of like work and passion and money and, you know, all those different things. Like I get it, trust me, like I'm right there with you. So I just want to kind of like encourage you guys, and you know, let you know that like I'm praying for you, like for all my people who can relate to what's happening, or what I'm saying. and just hang in there and keep trying. Like, I think the most beautiful part of, I think, everything that we're discussing is the fact that, like, at least if you're getting out there and trying, you can say that, like, you're doing your part to make things happen and to see things come to pass. And I think it's just really about a combination of prayer, surrounding yourself with great people, and keeping at it. So anyway, I hope that's something that somebody needed to hear. I know that I needed to say it and hear it and probably come back to it and remind myself the next time I'm having like a, oh my gosh kind of day. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you want to connect, you can find me on Instagram at The Coffee Break. You can also find me on Twitter at The Coffee Break. It's Coffey. And like I said, thanks for watching. Take care.